Hi everybody, this is Erica, and I wanted to talk about the holidays, which are definitely marketed as being one of the happiest times of the year, and as we all know, can be more complex than a Hallmark card. So, if you've lived long enough, you've probably seen and experienced some discord in familial connections, or maybe it was divorce or a friendship that you lost or something like that. And I just wanted to put this video out there because I do understand that the holidays are not a happy time for everyone. They can really amplify feelings of loss that you've experienced, whether it was family or friends or a spouse. So just to kind of briefly touch upon my own experience with loss in a family. In 2010, my sister and her husband estranged themselves from our family. So that meant me, my father, my mother. And I went from being someone who identified with having a sibling for nearly 40 years to kind of basically considering myself to be an only child. And that was definitely a grieving process that I just had to work through. But I was mourning someone who is still alive and kind of mourning the death of that sense of connection and family. And it was really difficult. It was, I had been one of the bridesmaids in her wedding. I had held her baby when she in the hospital. Was really looking forward to being an aunt, and all those things really just overnight seemed to just fall apart, even though the process to getting to her estrangement was definitely not an overnight process. It was probably a lot more complex. So I just wanted to say that I do understand that the holidays can be a very difficult time for some people. And whether you've experienced loss of a spouse or a friend or family members or things like that, which most of us who are, past a certain age are going to experience or have experienced, it can be a challenging time. Now, how I've learned to make it an easier experience and make it more of a joyous experience over the years is radical acceptance. Was just basically coming to terms with the fact that it had happened. There was nothing I could do to change her. I could not change. You cannot control another person. And if they've made that decision and they've cut any communication with you off, there's nothing that you can do from there. They've made a decision that is beyond your control. I've also redefined family. So family is not exclusively limited to who you're legally or biologically connected to. Your family can be a friend who has been, a ride or die person in your life. It can be just anyone that's in your life that has been very supportive and, that you have that real connection with. So I had to really kind of redefine family. And I would recommend anyone who is going through the holidays and feeling a sense of real grief or loss is to do something on that day, whether it's volunteering or, just meeting up with a friend or, just, connecting with family members that you still have a good relationship with. Do whatever you can to not make that day about just kind of grieving, because it is still a valuable day, and it's really about gratitude on that day and being grateful for what you do have and not kind of sitting there and mourning and dwelling on what you don't have. So that said, the grieving process is very real. And grieving the loss of my sister was kind of a surreal experience because she's still alive. And, it was like I was grieving the loss of that relationship and that, sense of connection. but it was for a person that is still out there and is still very much alive. And in 2018, I reached out to her via a mutual friend and just said, you know, would you let her know that our father is passing, and if there's anything she wants to say to him, you know, now would be the time to say something. And she never reached out or responded. So that really solidified in my mind that the connection was completely gone for her. And so again, it was radical acceptance. It was just accepting that that loss had occurred. And for my dad, mourning his loss was different because the parting between us was not a negative one. It was basically, you know, his health had taken a turn. He was dealing with organ failure, things like that. And, but there was still a sense of love and connection between us. So I didn't see it from the lens of, you know, there was a disagreement or there was, you know, some kind of discord. We went on peaceful terms together, and there was still a lot of love between us. And it was kind of a cleaner grieving process for that reason. So I just wanted to say that I do realize that the holidays are not the happiest time for everyone, and just remember that's a Hallmark card, and it's just a marketing ploy to basically make us believe that, you know, everyone's life is kind of like a Norman Rockwell painting, but it's not. And I've encountered enough people to know that there has been estrangement in other families and loss in other families and things like that. And, you know, it's not as perfect as it looks on, you know, a Facebook page. So just keep that in mind, and definitely do what you can on that day to lift your spirits and to redefine your sense of family. So that's my advice. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.